Was the dark future of gaming by Bellular News. We cannot let this bullshit happen. New video came out yesterday, so let's see what it's about.
It's a rainy Saturday afternoon. You've just finished mining 30 obsidian.
Wait, is that actually 40 minutes? Jesus Christ, it's gonna be very long. Okay.
You open up the Elder Chains online and you feel a rush of excitement. Your buddy from school has spent the last 2 years becoming a master blacksmith, and he has agreed to turn 10 obsidian ore into an obsidian battle staff. A huge upgrade over the mithril mace you've been wielding for the last weeks. It'll take him an hour or so. In the meantime, you hop over to Clash of Guilds and use the remaining obsidian to upgrade your town hall to the next level. That should keep your village safe. You wish you could fast forward time to tonight. Your guild has plans to go for a deep run in the wilderness in old school.
That really doesn't sound like a game I would enjoy playing long term, maybe like a week or two. It's like the whole V Rising situation where it's like I literally was wasting my time on a Saturday logging in back and forth to see if my base is getting invaded. I'm not gonna sit there all day literally having nothing to do because I can't farm any more materials just to wait for people to invade my base, man. Like, fuck that. This is the exact same thing. It's like, why would you do that? Like, you're not even playing the game, you're just waiting for shit to happen. That's not gaming.
Rune chains, and your prospects of a successful run and great loot have never been better. All members have been spending the past 2 weeks grinding for better weapons, and you've agreed through a vote to use the guild treasury to buy everyone a full set of red dragon hide armor. Tonight's objective is to kill the level 128 frost giant hiding in the Cave of Sorrow. He has a 5% drop chance for an immaculate orb of brilliance, of which there are only 4 in existence.
What? Like, well, it says it's 2030, so this is in the future. This looks like one of the games, there's like, no one would ever play this. Everyone is way too, entitled to have an item that is on like 4 in existence. Like, okay, so for example, World of Warcraft Classic, the Black Scarab, right? Black Scarab Lord, the Scarab Mount from the event in Ankiraj. You cannot do something like that these days, because normal people are not gonna get it. The people who are gonna get are the people whose life is the game, right? It's like people who can stream it, people who can play all day, people who are like already retired, let's say, and still love the game. Those are the people who can actually like obtain that, right? And it's like, why? You know, like, it's great for those people, but it sucks for everyone else. It's like, I know it's a cosmetic, but it's like, why? I don't think anyone would like this, to be honest. I don't think the games... I honestly feel like games are not going this way. I feel like they are trying to, and eventually people will be like, yo, enough of this shit. Everything goes like full circle, right? It's like you have ease of access, and it's like, well, there's too much ease of access, this is not fun anymore because everything is accessible. Then you make it harder to get, and then it's gonna be, well, this is way too hard. Well, guess what, I'm gonna increase ease of access, and then you're gonna go back to the circle of ease of access, and then it's gonna be too easy and whatever, right? Everything that is different is interesting, right? So if people are getting used to ease of access, you just give them harder shit to get, or like more grindy stuff, and they'll be happy. And then when it's like, okay, well, shit is too grindy, you increase the ease of access, right? It's like, oh, well, this game is not even challenging anymore. Okay, well, we're gonna increase the difficulty. It just goes back and forth. I don't think you can ever balance it because people just get used to everything.
The orb can be used as a power source for an upcoming space exploration game, and should give you a great advantage in reaching distant galaxies first. A 5% drop rate is low, but you're feeling
no, you don't.
In the distance, you hear a faint, "Blockchain doesn't bring anything new to games." You shrug and join your friends in the Discord voice channel. Life is good. #blockchain gaming. This is a real post by Nicholas. investing in blockchain games at Bitcraft.
Beautiful. It brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
The
That's
future
so
looks
bad.
So beautiful.
What he
That looks like such a bad game overall. It's like one of those games that looks good on paper, but it's like in reality it's just gonna suck. If it's a single player, maybe, but it's like...
But these video games that you can play, like right now.
Yeah, what he describes is a universe where everything is basically pay to skip if you want,
Yeah.
and one that makes no sense. These
Yeah.
games would all have to be made with either with a very common architecture and pipeline so that all assets are interoperable, which makes no sense if one of the games is a friggin' match 3 and the other one is basically Star Citizen. So
The only way a game like this would work is if the story is personalized on an online game, which is good luck. So everything is phased out personally, like depends on your choices you made. The world will be phased out, and then it's like, how do you meet other players if you're phased out? It's, again, nice on paper, never gonna work kind of thing.
This makes no sense. So now you've got to make duplicates, you know, the same Obsidian, whatever, in every single different game. This makes no sense. This will never happen. The whole point of blockchain, I guess for a lot of these guys, it's, you know, the decentralized element. So I suppose they're just thinking like, oh yeah, well your Obsidian whatever thing is just an NFT. So, you know.
It's never really decentralized though. Like even like crypto right now is pretty much centralized for like a lot of them.
Because you own this NFT, you hook up every game that you play to the wallet, now you own the thing in every single game. But that makes no sense. Because all of these game companies would have to have a centralized strategy for how to deal with all of these NFTs that apparently are useful in the games.
Yeah.
It's
Not
straight
gonna
up
happen.
makes no sense.
Nope.
From a technical perspective, from a
But
game
it's the metaverse, Bellular. It's the metaverse. Come on, man. We all are on the same wavelength, brother.
gameplay perspective, I mean, because from a gameplay perspective, people are obviously just going to find the fastest way to grind the thing, then they're just going to farm it out to the Philippines or something, as we already saw with Axie Infinity.
Or they'll just do what is currently happening in Lost Ark, which is just a haven for bots. Just bot paradise. Wait, you can do something in a video game to earn real money or real money equivalent, but that thing's really simple and it's in a video game and that's on a computer and I can program. Wow, incredible. It's almost as if bots haven't been fucking ruining every game with an economy that's had any sort of real world like virtual or value for hang on about 25 years now. Do any of these people live in actual reality whatsoever?
Thing is, you can get humongous amounts of MAUs pretty damn easily as Axie Infinity, and the funding environment that led to it getting such incredibly large injections of cash, as that proves. That's the thing. Obviously now we perhaps are entering the crypto winter, so who knows how it's all going to go,
Also,
but...
Yeah, this actually reminds me of something that's already kind of happening in a weird way, right? So... I'm assuming you can use your Battle.net balance in Diablo Immortal, right? I'm assuming you can do that. I can't see why not.
Do not know.
Because you can buy stuff on PC, you should be able to use your Battle.net balance.
Yeah, makes sense.
You can get Battle.net balance through gold in World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
So if you're really good at playing the auction house in World of Warcraft, and you can, make 10 million gold in a short period of time.
First of all, you can't, not that fast. Not as fast as it requires to spend. Also 10 million gold, let's see, calculator. So you have 10 million gold divided by 185-ish thousand. It's only 54 tokens. 54 tokens ish. Was give you 15, right? 810 bucks. That's a nothing, man. No matter how fast you make 10 million gold, this is nothing. Like this is really like not a lot of fucking money into your BNet balance. And let's say it's 15, it's 20, right? Even then, it's like $1,000 bucks, man. Like it's not. It's nowhere near enough for Diablo Immortal. The only thing is, you can run a few like a few $25 rifts, right? It's like 40 $10 $25 rifts, right? Ish. It's like good luck, you know. It's like, and then you gotta grind gold again.
Then that can be what is that
Also, very dangerous thing to do, because once you spend your BNet balance, you're like, well, it's just $25, you know, just a WoW membership for a month, every round.
300k in Europe. Say you make 3 million gold. That's about $150 worth of BattleNet balance, and then you can go and buy $150 worth of legendary crests in Diablo Immortal.
Yeah,
This
it's
already
nothing.
kind of exists, and it sucks.
Yes.
It's just using made up BattleNet money. And now they're trying to say, what if that happens? But whenever you sell all your World of Warcraft gold for BNet balance, you can then also use that in
Star Citizen.
fucking Star Citizen or Starfield or The Elder Scrolls 6 or a new Skyrim re-release with all this shit baked into it.
I would be down, by the way, that you can use BNet balance for Skyrim. That would be the biggest FU to Blizzard.
Or whatever other shitty mobile game. Who wants this?
Investors. Because all they want to do is create a fake economy that they can skim real money out of.
Oh,
While
100%.
everybody engaging in it essentially loses.
Oh, exactly
Yeah.
like Blizzard are currently doing with the World of Warcraft token, and it's turning into BNet balance because it's $20 of real money.
Yeah.
Gives you a WoW token,
Basically.
which gives you $15 of game time, which is $20 going into the Blizzard economy, $15 worth of value going to the player. $5 is raw profit for Blizzard, and
Yeah.
that $15 never ever leaves the Blizzard
Yeah, the-
ecosystem.
the
So
business
that on a
model.
grand scale,
Yes.
wonderful. I love that.
The business model is really simple. You just create virtual labor for a virtual economy, for virtual currency.
Hell yeah.
That,
Someone's buying with
then,
real money.
yeah, the only difference is the output of this virtual economy does nothing for society. Unlike the real economy, where houses get built, food gets produced, clothes get made, innovative new products come to the market. That's what it's supposed to do. But instead what you do is you create a fake market.
Yeah.
So that then
Cosmetics.
you can essentially capture the people in some bizarre form of weird servitude where ideally, they're going to keep on top of their health so they can stay paying for longer into a highly, probably, I mean, if it's like that, highly corrupt healthcare system that's ludicrously expensive. So, you got that going.
I'm so tired of people saying that. I know what he's referring to, the US health system that's overpriced and stuff like that. I don't agree. And I don't live there. And the highly corrupt part, I can easily say about socialized healthcare system to be highly corrupt.
Going. You have people working maybe 8, maybe
Just
12
saying.
hours a day, and then instead of coming home and making something with their hands, watching Netflix, cooking an exciting new meal, learning a new skill, instead you get them to then spend 4 or 5 hours clocking into a virtual economy where they have no output, basically, that is,
Tangible.
sort of tangible.
Yeah.
Where they can then take money from their real economic participation and put it in to get better ahead in this weird fake economy that's been created, because it just means nothing. It's a complete, absolute, utter nothing that is being designed to capture people's attention so that they can essentially work for the man and then come home and they think they're playing when in fact they're still working for the man.
Yes.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, because play to earn is just working.
Yes.
That's what it is. That's what a job is you're turning time into money.
That's true.
Playing to earn is your time is a little bit enjoyable. So it's a little bit like having a nice job, but it's not even turning into money anymore. So it's not even a job. It's worse than a job.
And
It's
the
turning
I
people-
mean,
into
even the
fake money.
play to earn games that you have now, they're not NFT, they're actual cash. They are really not worth it. It's like you make like $40 a year.
The people who basically ended up being, almost the battery chickens of WoW gold farming, they will tell you that it very fast is not a fun job.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's even. It wasn't very fun and had loads of health problems for the people who are doing it voluntarily. Never
Yeah.
mind the people who are doing it under literal servitude in concentration camps and prisons. I think was one of the examples.
What?
Yeah, there's a couple. Except been preparing a video for the Warcraft channel about this.
Bro, that's sick. Imagine you're sent, like, look, overall, yeah, it is a punishment. But overall, not gonna lie, would you rather be in jail and like having your soap dropped, or would you rather just play WoW and farm gold even though it's kind of like useless for you? You know.
Stuff, and there's literally like just so many documentaries like, oh yeah, here's the Chinese prison where all the prisoners, instead of doing prison labor like, you know, what is it they do in the US, making license plates,
Yeah.
or you know, grim stuff like mining or breaking rocks and stuff.
It is
like, yeah,
weird though.
Here's a computer. You can play World of Warcraft in prison. Doesn't that sound great? Except you're not playing World of Warcraft. You're specifically farming gold.
But here's the weird part. That means the government is taking part of gold farming in WoW. That is the weird part out of all of this. Not even that they're playing it in prison. The weird part is like, this is a government-run organization. Gold farming in WoW.
And then that gold will be sold by the prison warden. And that'll go through a chain of people, end up being bought by some Westerner for like $15, $20 for the amount. The warden gets to keep most of it, and it's just a big exploitative system of virtual work because it has real value to someone.
Well, that's horrific.
Yeah, but all that money's going into this pit and not leaving it.
Well, let's talk about the new games that are trying to do this. So the first NFT game on the Epic Store is on its way. Yeah, so breaking NFT gaming platform Go Gala Games announces partnership with Epic to launch Battle Royale game Grid on the store. First NFT game integration between Web 2 and 3. Huge day for NFT gaming at #Galaver.
See, the only good thing about Epic Games is that you quite often have free games there. I have a good chunk of free games on Epic Games right now. All of them were free at the time, it was like some deal or whatever. Update required. Man, why you do this to me? Alright, whatever, we'll watch this. I'll go over my free games on Epic.
Calipers.
Yeah!
That's a hashtag too.
Everyone has a verse. So it's an upcoming ride or die battle royale. Masses of gunslingers meet in solo, duo, or squad matches and test their skills against the backdrop of the Wild West. In Grid, players need to saddle up and shoot up a storm. As you gun your way through town, each match will test your skills and strategy against you. Blah, 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 blah. Shootouts, right? Now, this overall is in line with the Epic Games policy of welcoming blockchain games, assuming they meet a bunch of criteria and kind of follow the laws. So, yeah, Tim had talked a little bit about, there's obviously a lot of scam stuff going on.
Epic Games Store will welcome games that make use of blockchain tech, provided they follow the relevant laws, disclose their terms, and are age-rated by an appropriate group. Though Epic's not using crypto in our games, we welcome innovation in the areas of technology and finance. Let's see. Success! Alright, so. Library. I know their launcher is so slow. PLC, I got Troy, Abzu, Blair Witch, Control, God's Trigger, Genshin Impact apparently I have, I didn't know. Enter the Dungeon, Dungeons 3, Hitman, Remnants. I think Remnants the only game I paid for, but I think it was like $15 or some shit. And Spellbreak. All of these are free games. They were like, they cost money, but it's like they are free overall. They were free at that time. And honestly, I think I had Civilization as well, but whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's installed. I don't know. Either way, so it's like, yeah, that's the great thing about Epic Games. Usually has some free games on store. Let's see, play for free, Fall Guys. Oh yeah, Fall Guys, that's the name. But look at this, like Assassin's Creed, like 60% off, right? It's like all these like sales. 50% off of Battlefield, which like, whatever, who cares? Game of Thrones, free now. Car Machine Mechanic is free, right? It's like, and every so often they have good games for free, kind of like how you had it on Xbox Gold membership back in the day. Yeah, it's pretty nice. we? Hello? Where's the video? Oh, there you go. Right.
They're not down on that, but the legit stuff they're obviously a bit more okay with. Now, we already know about some things about Gala Games. So, number one, they convinced Peter Molyneux and various IP license holders, Battlestar Galactica, fucking kill me, The Walking Dead, that they would be good partners to work with on video games because, you know, every video game outing of the Battlestar Galactica franchise, I guess actually Deadlock is pretty awesome, but, you know, the other ones, not good. I don't think this will help. Yeah, so that's just the sort of, I mean, shovel loads of shite that they make, so that's cool.
Like, I remember back in the day whenever shovelware existed, and it was maybe some, like, I guess I'll use the meme example, Corey in the House for DS, and that was just shovelware.
Yeah.
But at least you bought it for real money. It's like, well, this wasn't very good. That was a good version of shovelware. Now this version of shovelware is somehow just a hellscape nightmare of NFT land. God.
Yeah, now a big thing here is that this is giving them kind of like institutional acceptance.
Yeah.
And that's why I think this is a decently major story. So they say this is a historic agreement. Two giants in different sides of the industry have came together to change the gaming landscape forever. We don't want that.
We do want that, actually. We really want that to happen. Because we want it to happen, to see that it doesn't work, and then they will revert back. The problem is, even if it doesn't happen now, it will happen eventually. You want it to happen as soon as possible because us, like the people who've been gaming since like gaming became a thing, we can still make an impact. If they do this when us boomers die out of the gaming industry and it's like we are not even the majority of gamers, this would be the prevalent gaming design, right? This is what's gonna hit like the younger markets, well, younger for compared to what my age would be at the time. You want this, all of this bullshit to hit when the boomers are still around because boomers are the ones who actually care about this. I haven't seen almost any early 20-year-old who cares about like pay to wins and crypto and stuff like that. It's like, oh, it's just the new thing, it's just the new thing. No, it's just the new thing to screw you over. Only us boomers seem to, well, not only, but like majority is boomers seem to realize that we're being screwed over because we remember the good old days. When like you buy a game, you play it, that's it, you do no other shit. Now it's like they're adding all these microtransaction stuff, and kids are, wow, what the fuck? And kids are okay with it because they're accustomed to it. Because every game right now they play on their, like 5-year-olds play on iPods and iPads, whatever, on the iPads and tablets, whatever. They play games that have microtransactions, even if the parents are smart and they don't let the kids don't give the kids the ability to pay for the games. The kids already see it as normal and it's there, so they will be really okay with this happening later on. It's us right now who can, you know, make the stand to resist this. Later on, there won't be anyone to resist it.
Epic is well known for their expansive reach, massive titles, and huge following. Gala is the pioneer of Web3 gaming. So that's essentially it. And if you're maybe wondering, you know, how have they made this jump so quickly to making like a real big video game and all of that? Why is this insidious? Why is this bad? Well, that's where we need to talk about Grit. So basically, Gala Games took a nearly finished game and then they added their own spin. So Team Grit are making the game called Grit. Some pretty high-profile names like Bob Berry and John Mavor, who worked on Planetary Annihilation and Monday Night Combat, are involved in spearheading this studio.
No idea who they are.
To the Steam Early Access January 5th, 2022. It was then delayed to January 25th.
Not gonna lie, the game looks like shit.
On January 25th to a unspecified date. You may wonder why. Well, because then Gala announced the partnership with Team Grit on the 15th of February, but this connection wasn't picked up until the Galaverse on June 26th, 2022. This is when they announced the first NFT drop for this game, and then confirmed that Grit would be appearing in the Epic Games Store. So basically, they acquired or made a big investment, whatever, and now we are going to have NFTs that are, I guess, Galaverse compatible in Grit, all in the Epic Games Store.
Yep, which obviously discounts it from Steam because Steam doesn't allow NFTs on the platform Because
For now.
Steam kind of go, what's the point of these? Is this good for the user?
No, that is not what Steam is about. Let's be real. It's not about the user. It's that it's not time yet.
Didn't literally say yes. You tried to explain yes without saying yes, so no, get away.
Yes.
So
Now,
good for them.
Venture Beats pay for access shill Dean Takahashi also wrote about this announcement. And
I think Steam is just aware of the backlash compared to like, and these guys think the backlash is not enough. I think that's probably what it is. Steam did its own math and realized that the backlash is not worth it, and let someone else take the first step on it and see how bad they burn. And if they'll see that it gets accepted, Steam is gonna jump on this bandwagon like crazy.
Interviewed Gala management, and that is what Dean
he
is. Make no mistake. It's even funny that like Jeff Grubb has a joke at Dean Takahashi's expense in his Twitter bio. Yeah, because everyone knows it's Takahashi. He's a fucking joke. And I'm not saying that because he was bad at Cuphead. As funny as that was, far more importantly, it is, you know, just being fucking basically running defense for, your man in France, David Cage.
Yeah.
And all of his, very looking down the nose articles, you know, on like NFT related stuff. So basically, like, look, if you are a Web3 gaming company, you know, Dean's your man. Go to Dean.
He will be an uncritical mouthpiece for you, generally speaking.
Yes,
That's what seems to be how VentureBeat runs.
I have no idea who these people are at all.
So, to celebrate the Galaverse starting today in Malta, Gala Games will be offering a special sale of the Gunslinger box, which will unlock one of 10,000 great avatars. Each character has its own specific perks and attributes that the owner can play as in the game. Attributes are generative and will provide a unique look to each character. Owners will be able to take with them, take them with them in game, their preferred loadout, specific weapon skins, things like that, providing them an advantage over their counterparts. Ah, great. So, just, out of the gate, this is the pinnacle of Web3 gaming. There are paid advantages to people who have the more rare, the more interesting NFTs.
Yeah.
So following... Wait, is that how much one box costs?
Yeah.
One box costs $1.5 grand.
Yeah.
Wow. So here's the bit that's crazy. It almost made me do...
How do you calculate this value? So dumb. 800% value, guys.
So Gala have their own token here, the Gala token. So following conversion, the 25,000 Gala token that it costs to get one of these Gunslinger boxes comes out to about $1.5 grand for a generative character, with just under half of that sort of cohort of Gunslinger boxes being available for purchase. Now, resellers may have it cheaper. This is the direct selling price, but essentially, like 5,000 plus of these have sold. That's the asking price.
Yeah. Do you want to get a small advantage in a game that isn't out yet? That's a Western battle royale. I mean, obviously, like the grid trailer, actually, it looks pretty good.
No, it doesn't.
It's hard to say without actually seeing a bunch of gameplay, but like
Kind of looks like shit.
It looks like it's been developed, especially from like the Monday Night.
It really looks like shit. The horse walk is weird.
But you just get owned by people who paid $1,500.
Characters are...
Sounds like a great experience for me.
It does not look like a smooth game.
Will look unique and seemingly will be able to just take their preferred weapon loadout.
Also, don't really care about the Wild West. There's only like one good Wild West game, and that's Red Dead Redemption. Really, and like I'm sure they made a ton of them, but no one likes like those games. Red Dead Redemption is the exception, not the rule.
Warzone loadout drops except $1,500.
Yeah, easy.
That's it. Wild. Now, there is a bunch of confusion here because even on the Discord for this game, they're pointing out that, quote, the NFT stuff isn't going to be in the playtest version of the game for some time. So there is some capacity for change. We can then see just the whole discourse going on. I'm sure if this is a game that you followed and were very interested in earlier on this year before this was all announced, then you're probably thinking, oh, wow. My passion was used to sell. Cool. Now, there is a good bit of news here. The whole thing seems to have gone quite badly. Okay? So, there's the general dislike of the Web3 stuff being shoved into games. but they actually fumble things even more because of a horse.
It's another horse.
It's another
This
horse.
is not armor this time.
Oh my god, no.
Right then, this horse. These were
Only
airdropped
500
to
are in
convention-
existence. I know the whole scarcity strategy and shit, but like, they're kind of pushing it, don't you think?
attendees who paid $8,000 to attend Galaverse. Yes, all Galaverse attendees were airdropped their insane epic chest. Only 500 are in existence. And this is the insane epic chest. It's a horse.
Didn't Blizzard give like certain mounts for people who attended BlizzCon or had a ticket or something? I believe the ticket didn't cost this much. Just saying.
It's a model of a horse, and I guess some randomization for the bits that are on it.
Awesome.
And these people are stupid enough to think that flipping around a bunch of parameters for a model is like enough to be like, oh wow, look at this, it's cool and unique.
Who ranked? A lot of them.
Bunch of fucking brain.
It's not even a unique skeleton, that's the thing. It's the same skeleton with different colors on it.
Yeah.
So it turns out
Oh
that
god, people are dumb.
these airdropped horses were actually horses that people had seen before on the Unreal Asset Store for $29. So essentially what these freaking charlatans have done is they've just taken a bunch of horses, and there's either two things that have happened. They've taken all the different parameters, and they've just said, okay, we'll maybe randomize the color within these bounds, we'll randomize what accoutrements the horses have, and we will just ensure that there are no dupes for the horses, whatever. But basically they just kit bash what costs $30, and then a bunch of morons buy that for $8,000 each.
Yeah.
Nice scheme.
Yeah, and this isn't, oh, we've bought a horse for $30 and sold it for $8,000. We have bought the data for horses for $30. So it's not like they're making a 970 profit on every horse. It's literally just we've bought the rights to this thing. And this probably isn't included in the terms of service whatsoever for this. This is probably against the rules to go, oh, this, we'll buy this and then sell it again for an obscenely high.
Well, what's funny then is that even on this, they've actually had to backtrack. They said the Grit Horse NFT pictured in the tweets was a placeholder asset, the NFT, which was given away for free and exclusive to attendees.
For free.
I mean, the attendees obviously paid.
Yeah.
This will be replaced with the correct image when finalized. Which then just kind of begs the question, where are you getting the horse from? Are you just going to model your own then? How did this happen? This is clearly ass covering, in my opinion.
Yep.
So the game's not released. It's not in early access. The store page doesn't actually have a date. The blockchain integration actually isn't even implemented in the technical tests and betas that they're running. Is just quickly basically thrown in by Gala because they want to look like they're having a proper, big real game instead of all of these weird just NFT games like even Axie Infinity they have so little to them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the case of Gala probably running around with a big amount of money from very, very, very interested people who can kind of go, oh, can we get into this market early and, dominate it and become mega billionaires off all of this by exploiting people? Let's go. Okay, we'll give a couple mil to like a small game that looks promising. And obviously if you're the developer of Grit or whatever else and someone goes, hey, fire these in, we've got a good selling point, because all of these places will have like really good arguments, especially if they're with you in person and have a load of money to kind of throw at you, and you just kind of get swept up in like, oh yeah, this actually is great, and you're not sure if it's you or the
Oh my god, what kind of an idiot spends so much money on cosmetics on a game that isn't even out? The only reason to buy cosmetics in a game is because you already invested the fuck out of it. Who cares how you look like if you don't care about the game, man? It's like, why care about your appearance in Diablo Immortal if you don't like the game? Why care about your appearance in World of Warcraft if you hate the game, right? Like, why care about my appearance in Diablo 3 if I don't play it? It's like, you need, like, in order to want to look good, you have to actually want to play the game, right? Something in the game has to, like, bring you into it. It's not like unless you're playing the game to play a Barbie doll house, then it's like, why are you playing this? Just play any other game. Honestly, just play Guild Wars 2. They have the best fucking mods in the industry right now, for as far as MMOs go.
Like, check and just put down for any talking.
Yeah.
And that's how this stuff happens. They don't
It's
actually
so weird
ever
to me,
do
man.
anything or need to do anything. They just get a big
Like,
amount
oh,
of
this mount
money
looks
and
cool,
then
but I
spin
look
around
like
in
shit.
circles, making loads of promises, never getting anything done with it. And like, obviously for us, they're promising a massive downgrade. But everyone's just so swept up in all of the glitz and glam of the money, they don't really seem to give a shit.
It's just it's where the money's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And there's even weird things like the Twitter account for Grit for ages just pointed to the old website that made no reference to the NFTs, no reference to Gala, and that has been updated. But it's weird, right? I wonder what it's like as a developer there.
Can't be good.
There's more things happening. I mean, Zola, the payment processing company, if you had a Twitch subscription, you maybe will have noticed that Zola are, I don't know if they are still, but at least for a very long time, they were the payment provider of Twitch. But, you know, they're, of course, launching into NFTs because, look, if you're in the finance side of games, then obviously this is an emerging market. They're going to want to have a stake in there.
Zola has, like, they call them the transaction engine and business engine, which are these just integrations and things for working on the back end of your game to try and monetize all of your games better, stuff like that. Same way in the sense that, you know, someone who makes a mobile game isn't deciding all of the ads themselves. They'll hook into a platform that does it for them.
Yeah, 100%.
Takes all your data and goes, oh, we'll serve you these ads.
Yeah, makes
But
sense.
it's the same, but to do with microtransactions and businesses and stuff like that. And this is where a while ago we talked about the kind of practices that are a little bit behind the curtain. Stuff like the fact that probabilities from FIFA Ultimate Team's loot boxes could theoretically be dynamic and determined based on you as a player. In the same way, like a slot machine will go, oh, well, you haven't won so many times, we'll give you one now. But a lot more dynamic and a lot more kind of possibly predatory. It's the same stuff kind of going on a little bit behind the curtain here where it's not quite clean cut.
Yeah.
And now that transaction engine, those business engines are being built to bring NFTs into the fold. Because why not?
Yeah, and I think it's now time that we take a look at one of these games, the deep integration that actually is out in the wild. Yeah. That is Ni no Kuni Crossworlds. Where, it's interesting. The community's not thrilled.
No.
They don't have a lot of faith in Netmarble.
Oh, well, Netmarble didn't end up making a video on it, but there's...
So I'm reading up on what's been going on with that Ni no Kuni MMO. Apparently because of the crypto NFT stuff, bots have infested it, leading to long queues for servers. Netmarble solution offer people a daily adventurer's pass for $8 to bypass the queue to log in. Oh my god, bro.
Please don't play this very much like these are not good people to get.
That is really bad.
What they've essentially done is they've monetized the bots by creating the daily adventurer's pass for $7.99 to bypass the queue.
Well, that was a little bit taken a little bit out of context. It's actually a monthly battle pass that does have a premium queue element to it. Yeah. But the queue
doesn't matter.
Only exists because
of the bots.
Tons of bots, because the queues are a lot bigger in the areas where you farm.
Let's not fix the bot problem. Let's take full advantage of this crisis. Don't let any good crisis go to waste.
This is a very simple game.
Oh, good.
It's a very simple game that you can earn money from. So obviously, like with World of Warcraft back in the day, like with Lost Ark today, people are just going to make bots.
Yeah.
Because why would you not? If you can, it's the same way as like, oh, well, there's a load of money in that river. Oh, there's too much for me to grab myself. I guess I'll go and make a load of bots to, go panning for gold. I mean, that's the thing. In the gold rush days in the US, if people could have made bots to do that, they absolutely would have. So why not do it here? Obviously, the answer to why not is because it completely shits on the game experience for all these people. And now they've accidentally, and I imagine they didn't intend this, but maybe they did when they knew, when they made this mind. Oh, there's a priority queue in the battle pass. Well, do we expect queues in our games? Why would our game have a queue? Because of bots. Because we've looked at other games in the market. Because these people aren't stupid.
Yeah.
The people who design, especially the monetization stuff, they know what they're doing. You get it even from people who were like 15, 16 back in the early 2000s and going over the real value of virtual economies. none of this is actually new. Like in terms of the people who are behind the curtain, all this stuff has been known about and talked about and discussed internally since the late 90s. And it's just, here we go. They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
We'll create a problem and monetize the solution.
And whenever you hear people talking about their mobile game spending as investing, that's language you'll hear with a lot of whales. This adds a level of, oh yeah, it is an investment because you're getting a real currency. You can really cash out. And what's going to be very interesting is, if you can cash out, how many countries are going to turn around and say, oh, by our rigid definition, that is gambling. Yep, that's what I'm very interested in. So it's a sort of thing where, did they intend for this to monetize bots and stuff? Who knows? But it certainly is having that effect. Because, hey, I mean, if you're Lost Ark, like, you're not getting a monthly subscription from every bot, that kind of sucks for you, right? So there you go. Now, Netmarble have offered real money through grinding in the game. That basically means there's a reason for all this weird virtual work. That means there's an incentive for the bots. It means there's an incentive for people to just spend a whole bunch of money to increase their potential to earn within the game. Yeah, so we've got, of course, the whole thing we talked about before this game, the Territe token, which is a utility token on the Marblex platform. And to get Territe, you can earn it by doing dailies, familiar adventures, or hunting monsters in the Chaos Fields. So you get the Territe, which turns into Territe token, which turns into Marblex, which then goes to a cryptocurrency exchange where you could then turn it into something a little bit more
Bitcoin, Ethereum,
fiat if you wanted, or
or then get
that way.
But it goes through
And I
3
remember
different
what
fucking
it
stages.
was a little bit shady about this that we didn't get to cover last time, and it was the literally against TO. I think they cancelled it because it was against terms of service in the end, but they were beginning an event where they would give people in-game items for posting a screenshot of their own verified review, a 5-star review on the App Store and the Play Store.
So you're
So
buying
buying
reviews.
The very like bottom of the barrel, first idea comes to your head. Obviously, it's not good faith kind of tactics.
Yeah, like incentivized reviews are not allowed on app stores.
Yes, that's why they ultimately aren't allowed to do it, because they got caught organizing this, because it was just on their like public Discord they were doing it. It was like a full event, like, hey, we're running an event, post a review and get some items. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? You're insane. And then there was something else as well. Oh yeah, it's just the fact that the game is actually fully pay to win as well.
Yeah.
In terms of the gacha stuff is equipment and gear and also the pet stuff. So you can invest, like you're saying about investments. Now when you're rolling gacha, because it increases your earn rate, because you earn more Territe and you earn more of the other currency, I can't remember what it's called, when you're doing higher difficulty stuff or you're higher ranked in PvP, then it is an investment. It's like it is literally, imagine Diablo Immortal, but you could farm real money equivalent, and that's it. That's what this was.
Yeah. It's like, hey, what? Your ASICs and shit have meant that your mining rig is now useless. It's okay.
Yeah.
Do some weird botting on it. Woohoo.
Yeah. So instead of buying a graphics card to increase your rate of getting currency, buy some in-game items to increase your mining rate. Not literally the same, but close enough in effect. It's such a fucking hellscape, man.
Yeah. So look, that's the hell that they want to create. It is one we
Good luck.
guard ourselves against. As I
Yep,
said
I
at the
agree.
top of the video, it's that
But
thing
we
of-
need it to happen first before we guard ourselves. We need it to happen so we can make videos and point out why this is a bad thing. Only us boomers can really do it. So it is what it is.
replicate the labor market, just that there will be no real life societal or individual benefits of the fake labor market that they wish to create. Because in order to create that virtual work market that they then deeply monetize, like, that is not perfectly in line with generating the best time, the best entertainment for your users. If that kind of game is what's making all the money, we're not going to have transformative experiences within gaming if that ends up being the predominant thing, because games will just turn into some really weird virtual economy thing where, you know, it might not make sense for, like, if there's a lot of, you know, maybe people in more well-off countries, like, maybe it won't affect us that much because maybe we'll still, you know, earn more money in a retail job or something like that. but for a lot of people in in other countries, we saw in like Venezuela, I believe it was with Axie. It was the Philippines as well with
The
Axie.
Philippines, actually, Venezuela is always the one they talk about RuneScape with, where a
Okay.
lot of people started farming RuneScape gold there and RuneScape items because it was more efficient than going to work because of the hyperinflation in that country
Yeah.
had to deal with.
So in a lot of countries where the tiny amount that you'll basically earn on a weekly basis or a daily basis in these games, where that will go way further in terms of your purchasing power. They just want to capture loads of human hours and loads of human time to go into this system so that ultimately they can extract more money from the people who are doing, what are maybe an upper quintile or something
Yeah.
of the economy in the more wealthy countries.
It's imagine, obviously you've got the whole problem with support thing where people were worried about call centers being farmed out to like less developed countries, and that's the thing where obviously they do that because they pay a lot less to give the same value. But imagine that, but instead of it being a call center, it's just farming in-game items. It's the same mechanic of, the more developed country will pay a disproportionate amount, and that'll mean more profit from anyone there.
Yeah.
But instead of it providing actual support, it's just farming in-game items, which are all obviously, I understand the personal value one might have attached to items in video games because obviously that whole thing is real value for a reason, but it's not real value, and that kind of happened by accident.
Well, they're weaponizing the
Yeah.
importance that we assign to things in game.
Yeah.
Because the very same reason that you maybe spent a whole bunch of time to get the cool sword in World of Warcraft, now they are trying to turn that into a form of monetization. So it's quite tricky because virtual things can feel real, and that is very open for extreme exploitation in a situation like this. So it's kind of using what can make games and stuff like that like feel meaningful. Why we would really be driven on to progress in World of Warcraft or something, and it's just using that for this like horrible twisted purpose that's just creating an economy that serves honestly nobody but the kind of super wealthy by
Yeah.
just creating this like humongous class of minnows and free to plays who are like doing this weird play to earn, but they're not. It's like I guess in a country where you can't find a job, like that maybe it's going to be the thing that you do.
Yeah, that might be
But-
helpful individually, yes.
Yeah,
100%.
but you just like worry about what this like actually means if it takes off, and ultimately like we're in the forefront of society. There's things going on now that 30 years ago our parents could not have imagined.
or even understand today if you explain to them because it's
Yeah.
so insane.
And the same, like, we may think we're special, we may think we all know how things are going to go and what it's going to be like, but maybe there'll be things that'll happen in 30 or 40 years' time that, we'll barely be able to understand. Or if you told us they would happen now, we think it's crazy. But it does slowly happen, and the change suddenly gets so great that, like, you don't even know what you're looking at anymore.
I mean, I've got actually two specific examples that might highlight this fairly well. One is from the Axie Infinity documentary that I can't remember what I don't know if it's the publisher or somewhere related, somewhere definitely literally, we are showing you the best version of this, the shiniest form of this, because it's in our incentive to do so. And it was running as like a little underground or like a sub process in my brain I was watching going, this was a bit weird. I understand
Just a bit.
the positive element of, hey, COVID's ravaged this town, so people are like afraid to go out and work because they'll get sick and people with vulnerabilities might die and stuff like that. So they've turned to making money digitally, and they're providing this like false value for the wealthy West to disproportionately pay the wages. But because no one was out physically working, the place was deteriorating. Like no one was actually holding up the shop, so no one could come and buy stuff. So there were people starving, and it's like the actual core kind of the work wasn't being done anymore because everyone was in their house doing this digital work.
It almost
It didn't
breaks
matter.
the meaning of money in a way.
It does,
when
yeah.
the money's all going into like fake things that aren't real.
Yeah.
When there's real things like food and
Yeah.
raw materials and clothing and shelter
Yeah, and
that an economy should be producing. So the larger this shitty, not real economy is, there's just nothing
Yeah,
work that
yeah.
no one's getting anything out of. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
and all of that value is completely arbitrary from the game developer because they get to twist and tweak the knobs. Obviously, when it's decentralized, that's not the case, but the initial stuff still is the kind of the game balance of Axie Infinity is. And that's the kind of thing we go, well, is this all just made up? Is this all, is someone just making all of this up? What the hell is going on? But the other example I have is Ready Player One. And this is a weird one because obviously Ready Player One was this nostalgia bait novel written by an okay writer maybe. And then they made a Spielberg movie out of it where Spielberg only directed like one scene. Everything else was just CG nightmare. And obviously all the things about that movie aside, the one thing that always stuck out to me is that everyone talking about it was like, oh, this is the metaverse. This is what virtual reality could be. Isn't this such a utopia? Isn't this so perfect? Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this such an aspirational thing for society? And I'm just sat there going, did you watch the fucking movie? Did you see with the opening part where they're all in a trailer park that's stacked like skyscrapers? Because no one has any money and no one's doing any work and everyone's useless.
Seriously.
Apparently, most people didn't
Ready
see
Player
that
One.
part or think about this one.
Ready Player One is one of those movies. It's a one-time movie. I feel like I don't feel like watching that movie more than one time. It's like you get the point, whatever. You see it, you see the action. Like, okay, that's cool, and that's about it. It's one of those movies where you're like, whatever.
Oh, but shiny metaverse, happy.
It's
Yeah.
like I was listening to, you know,
Like the tech in Ready Player One is something I would desire. The living conditions, not so much.
the Zuck on the Tim Ferriss podcast, and it's like I know they are both really smart guys,
Yeah.
But they don't know video
and they're
games.
talking about Ready Player One, like almost as if it's a good thing. And like maybe this is people's heads just being so completely mazed by references that they're like, "Oh, cool!
The Iron Giant shot those dudes, yeah.
Yeah, like maybe if
No offense,
Ryan-
but Tim Ferriss is like has almost no business talking about video games. He talks about business, nutrition, fitness, stuff like that, lifestyle. Not video games. Video games is not part of the lifestyle that he leads or wants anything to do with. So taking his opinion about anything that has to do with video games, no.
Gosling had a few Marvel characters and Disney characters and things like that in Blade Runner. You know, the new Blade Runner, the people would have thought, oh wow, look at that, that's really cool. Wish I was born in that century with the flying cars.
Do you?
It's like, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
again,
The point is being missed.
Yeah. Oh my
But
god.
this is the case with the point.
Yeah, they like the tech, not the lifestyle that comes with it.
Conveniently be missed.
Yeah.
I think. Well, I mean, just as far as Zuckerberg and Tim Ferriss, I think it might just be a case of the Emperor's like new clothes. It very much feels like that. It's like why is no one saying this is fucking stupid? Because it really is.
Again, Zuckerberg even play video games? I know he lives in the tech world, sure, like made Facebook and all stuff. Does he play video games? I've never heard of Zuckerberg playing video games.
Jesus Christ. Oh my
There you go. So here's
You would
a-
assume he does.
particularly brief, but certainly a dive into the
You really
the
would assume he
coming horror.
does.
Let's very much hope this doesn't catch on. I think one good thing at least is
I hope it does.
Valve are sticking to their guns.
Yeah.
It seems so far. Seems this stuff's going to be kept out of Steam.
Such,
And
they
I
can't
think
even
that
make
if
cards
they
look
felt
good.
there certainly
Holy
is a
shit.
generic concern. Then
That
something
really
like
doesn't
the
look like a good
market
game.
being so impactful is like a kind of problematic thing. Here it's a little bit weird. Valve have so much power. It's like a little bit uncomfortable they have so much power, but also they kind of are using it in the right direction in this particular issue, so that is a good thing.
Yeah, Steam will just
Funny.
end up being a shelter for video games by the end of the fucking like decade. That's what's going to be.
Yeah, well, that's it. If they come for Steam, they'll have to go through Gaben and his big knife collection, so I
Yeah.
think we'll all be okay. Right,
Absolutely.
that's the story. I suppose if you found yourself in Crossworld somehow, how's it been?
Yeah, please let us know.
And yeah, I don't know if you have one of these special horses, let us know, but I feel like the people with the special horses maybe are not viewers of our channel. Anyway, the very least,
And they won't be after this video.
I hope we kept your brain tickled for at least a little bit of time. Use this as a jumping off point to go and play some real video games. Two really good examples. Citizen Sleeper came out, and I think if you're worried about spooky things that could be happening, go check out Citizen Sleeper. Should definitely disclose it is published by the same publisher as us, but I do genuinely think it's a really good game. Its ratings are really high. Anyway, most importantly, that's a real game. You can also wishlist The Pale Beyond on Steam, which is the video game that we are making as well. So that's it. Have a good day. See you next time.
So I think, okay, so me and Bell are both agree, and well, and Matt, we both agree that this whole like crypto gaming and stuff like that, and the metaverse and all that stuff is actually pretty bad. The only thing we don't agree is how to go about. In my opinion, you should have it like a demo of it released, and people have massive backlash, say how much they don't want it, so that no one would ever do it again, rather than wait, because it's gonna happen at some point, rather than wait until like us boomers die out as the main gamers, as like the majority of gamers, and then there will be no one to really like bear the flag, so to say. Yeah, anyways, that's Bellular news. I know why I don't, well, I know why I don't subscribe to Bellular news. The videos are too long, I usually don't watch them. But that was, again, interesting topic, but I feel like Bellular does amazing videos when they're short and to the point. It feels like there was a lot of beating around the point, or like talking about like too many random stuff that's like they are related, but they're also like kind of like I don't care. So that's why I don't watch Bellular news. But fuck it, whatever. I'll stop for this one. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I think I was kind of dozing off. I don't think it was as bad as the last time, but like it was. I was getting there when I was like starting to fall asleep. Bellular has just this soothing voice. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one.